Cindy, the most difficult part of preparing for interviews is you don't know what the employer is going to ask you. And there are hundreds of questions that could come up during an interview, some of them pretty bizarre. But there are some basic ones that you can concentrate on and get an answer prepared for employers when you walk in. One of the more common ones is tell me something about yourself. So your object of the interview is that you want to get in with that company. You want to get a seat with that organization. And you can use the word seat as an acronym to help you remember the things that you want to tell the employer that are probably going to be most important to them at the beginning of the interview. The S could be your skills. You want to identify for them 3 to 5 of your most impressive skills. The E is your experience and your enthusiasm for the job. How much experience do you have? And why do you want to do this? And if I was going to mention the number of years of experience, if I had more than 10, all I would say is I have more than 10 years of experience. The A is for the accomplishments. Pick out the 2 or 3 biggest accomplishments that you have. And the T is to tell them about the training and the education that you have that pertains to the job that you're there talking to them about.
That's really a neat tool. I really like that, David. You know, something else people need to be aware of is to anticipate the question, what are your strengths? You know, everybody has strengths, but to really take the time to think about how they relate to the specific job that you're going after is very important. So you need to be prepared with, say, 3 or 4 specific strengths. Maybe it's things like, let's say, teamwork, collaboration, problem solving, good with people, and then being prepared to back those up with specific examples too if you're asked for them.
And on the flip side of that, they'll sometimes ask you about your weaknesses or what do you think you need to improve.
Yes.
As human beings, we all have weaknesses. So you want to come up with some things that you can tell the employer that's truthful, but on the other hand, isn't going to be something that they're going to look at as a deal breaker for you. For instance, my biggest weakness, some people might think, is my experience. You may have people that you're interviewing that have more experience than I do. But in learning new positions, I've usually learned the job in half the time that the employer thought it would take me. And because I don't have a lot of experience in this particular area, I don't have any bad habits. I'm going to learn the job the way you teach me to do it. Another one I've heard people say is, well, I haven't quite attained the educational level that I wanted to. So I've got such and such a degree or such and such a certificate, but I'm planning on going back to school because I want to achieve whatever your next goal is. And give the employer an idea of when you're going to go and do that, so that to them it sounds like something you're realistically planning as opposed to just a wish. Another thing is why did you leave your previous positions? What is it about those jobs that you felt weren't fulfilling your career goals for you? Let the employer know what those were, but put them in such a way that they're going to recognize that each move was a positive move for you, that it was an advancement opportunity to get you to the point where you are now, ready to take on this opportunity to eventually get you to that career goal that you've wanted.
Sure, and I know often employers will also try to identify if someone has a break in employment. You know, what's been going on? You know, why has the person been out of work? And it's important for you as an applicant to really be thinking about some reasons to offer. Maybe you've gone back to school, you have, or maybe upgraded your skills, maybe your computer skills were a little rusty, so you took the time to really get yourself more up to date with that. Or maybe it's community involvement, that you've done some volunteering to stay current. Or maybe you've really taken the time to revisit what you want to do next with your career. So you have done some investigating before you've gone into the job market again.
Quite simply, it's all the reasons why the employer should hire you.
Yes.
And what employers are looking for basically is, can you make me money? Or can you save me money? That's what it all boils down to. So everything that you talk about in the interview should be centered on what can you do to either make that employer money or save them money so that their company will be more profitable.
Sure, and of course you want to go into the interview prepared to answer that, but then also be sensitive to what the employer is saying throughout that interview so that you can customize that answer at the very end and have a powerful close.
Mm-hmm.